schizophrenic. And another thing was Jeffrey was always taunting the inmates. It was very well known that sometimes Jeffrey Dahmer would play with his food and he would reconstruct the food into what looked like human limbs and he would brag about it. And people did not like this. So here's what happened on that day. 3 guys are assigned to some kind of, prison job, something like that. There's no guard around for whatever reason. Chris, the guy that was convicted for life, is working with Jeffrey. He said at one point somebody had poked him in the back and he didn't know which one of them had done it. And he gets pissed off. He turns around to Jeffrey and he takes this big metal pipe out of his, that he was hiding, which is a very important detail. If he's saying that this just happened out of nowhere, they provoked him, well, why did he have the pipe ahead of time? We'll get to that. And he beats Jeffrey Dahmer to death. That was it. Jeffrey was just doing laundry or something, and this dude came through with the pipe, beat the shit out of him. Then afterwards, he walks over, he finds Jesse, does the same exact thing. Chris Scarver actually doesn't give very many details about this. The way that he talks about it, it's almost as though he did what he had to do. If everyone in prison hates a certain inmate and you're working with them or you're cellmates with them, they literally expect you to kill them. You don't put somebody that's in a life sentence with somebody that's really hated in the jail because they will kill them. They're not getting out anyways, and it just literally gets them more clout in jail.
It was a brutal murder behind bars, a shocking lapse of prison security. And while correction officials
I think they told them guards to go somewhere because those guards knew they were supposed to be around Dahmer the whole time. I think somebody knew.
promise an investigation, no one involved with the Jeffrey Dahmer case says that they're surprised.
I use the word hit, and that has been one of the rumors that has been running rampant, was that this was some sort of a hit.
Exactly what happened is still not clear. Dahmer was cleaning a prison bathroom with 2 other inmates when suddenly one of them apparently took a broom handle and started beating Dahmer to death.
It was a metal bar.
Prison officials say Dahmer's head may have been bashed against a wall.
There was so much animosity toward him with a number of the inmates were either jealous or resentful over his celebrity status.
Jealous? I don't think anybody was jealous of his celebrity status. I think they just hated him.
Officials say it was this man, Christopher Scarver, who carried out Dahmer's death sentence.
How they caught the assailant is that he was covered with blood. There was apparently a great deal of blood at the scene.
Prison officials won't say why 3 guards assigned to the area left the inmates alone. But for now, they insist the guards did nothing wrong.
I'm confident that staff did everything that they were...
That's funny because that's something y'all would say in the comments. The guards did nothing wrong. That's y'all.
supposed to be doing and looking out for the safety of the inmates in this situation.
In 1991, Dahmer was sentenced to live out his life here at the state prison in Portage, Wisconsin. But those who knew him say that Dahmer never believed that he'd survive behind bars for very long.
He knew.
I'm not surprised. I had predicted that he would be killed in prison because he had a death wish. He always had a death wish. He was a sick kid. He knew he was sick.
In recent months, Jeffrey Dahmer apparently had found religion.
I think it's interesting that sometimes in these interviews, they try to portray Dahmer as though he was accepting of what he did and shameful and, well, I'm not going to live too long. Yet he was taunting the other inmates by rearranging his food to look like human limbs. He had no remorse. There was no acceptance of, I'm a sick person, I need help. He was taunting people, and I'm sure that's not the only thing that he did.
He was formally baptized in May, and in the prison chapel, he confided to the minister about how he was ready to accept the ultimate punishment.
Now that he's a Christian, and he felt personally that he deserved to be put to death for his crimes, the question was, am I sinning against God by continuing to live?
So it appears that Jeffrey Dahmer may have wanted to die, to end his tortured life, to rid himself of his inner demons. And to the families of his victims, Jeffrey Dahmer's death sentence finally brings an end to their private suffering.
Whoever did kill him, he's my hero. I will be sending a thank you card to this hero.
The autopsy on
Amen, sis. Hey, listen. Hey, look, if you're new here, this is not a channel where I'm going to sympathize with somebody that murdered 17 people. And it's just so funny because I've actually like received criticism before where people are like, I can't believe Bose is celebrating somebody dying. Well,
I am.
Jeffrey Dahmer says he died from multiple
I don't know what to tell you.
skull
Jeffrey
Tomorrow,
Dahmer, dude.
Dahmer's mother speaks out for the first
bro,
time.
anybody that wants to defend Jeffrey Dahmer can get the out. Like, you know, y'all know sometimes I'll be sitting here talking about some, you know, I'm accepting of all other opinions, other, you know, ways of looking at things. Your, you know, twos are welcome. Your opinion is welcome. You know what? Man, I can't even. Get out. Just go. I can't do it. Dahmer sympathizers out.
Hard copy, her
Get out.
first public comments since the murder.
This is the man suspected of murdering Jeffrey Dahmer, 25-year-old Christopher Scarver of Milwaukee, serving life for a 1990 murder. The police report from that crime depicts an unstable man. He asked to add a T to his name whenever it appeared as Chris, so it would read Christ. His attorney tried an insanity defense. It failed.
So you have a class of people like Christopher Scarver in penal situations who have mental problems but are incarcerated rather than in hospitals.
Dahmer, according to medical officials, was beaten beyond recognition while working on a 3-convict janitor crew, which included the suspect. A third inmate, Jesse Anderson, was critically injured. The 3 were reportedly left alone for 20 minutes.
It is something that we did not expect.
Jesse was critically injured, but he later died from his injuries in the hospital. Chris Scarver killed both of them with just a metal rod.
And had we been aware of something pending, we certainly would have taken preventative action.
Although Dahmer's crimes were known worldwide, the murder case against Jesse Anderson made major headlines here in Milwaukee. His attorney believes the prison was negligent for putting 2 notorious inmates together, along with another violent criminal. Attorney Ronald Hendry is also convinced of the motive.
Anybody who sits back and
The
says
jail-
that they
nah,
don't
the
think
jail
that
said,
race had
"Let
something
them
to do with
fight."
This probably isn't on the same planet.
Most of Dahmer's victims were minorities. Jesse Anderson, convicted of killing his wife, blamed that murder on 2 black men. Corrections officials have created a special panel to investigate the attack. And a final irony, the divorced parents of Jeffrey Dahmer, the man who dismembered his victims, are fighting over his remains. Dawn Fratangelo, NBC News.
Jeffrey Dahmer requested that he would be cremated, and afterwards both of his parents were fighting over his brain because his mom was saying, we should send his brain off to be studied. Jeff said that no matter what, he wanted to help in some way, and donating his brain would really do that. I mean, she can truly keep it. I mean, like, what are we going to do? Scan Jeffrey Dahmer's brain and be like, wow, there's a bunch of up shit in here. Well, all right, let's burn it. Like, I mean, that's basically what would happen. Quick little interview with the son of Christopher Scarver, the man that killed Jeffrey Dahmer.
Do you remember when you learned that your father murdered Jeffrey Dahmer?
Yes. It was about 10. I saw it on TV, and that's how I found out. So, yeah.
So you suddenly see your father?
Yeah, it's a big picture that popped up. And I was just shocked at that point.
50% of the kids in juvenile detention have a parent incarcerated.
Damn.
And we're really trying to slow this down.
As a retired federal prison warden, Percy Pitzer has spent most of his life around prisoners. Now he wants to help their children.
It's a lot of pressure on a kid when a parent is incarcerated.
His foundation helps the children of inmates get a college degree. One scholarship recipient is the son of the man who murdered notorious serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer while in prison.
Okay.
Do you remember the first time that you heard the name Jeffrey Dahmer?
Heard it a lot growing up. That's all I heard. When I was young, I didn't know what it meant, obviously, but, you know, that name, you know, it's been around me for my whole life, so.
Chris Scarver, a senior at Bethany Lutheran College, has lived with the
seems like a
secret
nice
his
guy.
whole life, but is finally...
Like, he seems like a pretty just nice, chill dude. You never would have guessed that his dad is somebody that murdered Jeffrey Dahmer. Like, that would mess me up.
ready to talk about it. He was born just after his father, also named Christopher Scarver, committed a murder that would land him in jail with Dahmer. It was a cold-blooded killing of a job trainer in Milwaukee.
For a long time, I believed he was going to come home, man. You know, I always kept that hope. And then, you know, after a while, you know, I just said, you know.
Nah, he already had a life sentence.
I don't know, it just hit me that maybe